If you're an income investor in Canada, you've probably seen dozens of covered call ETFs popping up everywhere. Yields as high as 10, 12, or even over 15%. Sounds amazing, right? But not all of these ETFs are created equal. In this video, I'm sharing the 6 covered call ETFs that actually stand out to me here in Canada. There are many covered call ETFs in Canada. I narrowed my favorites list down to 6. Some of these names you'll recognize, but a couple might surprise you. I'm going to break more down, but if you're interested in monthly dividends, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe. So, let's dive in. By the end, you'll know why these 6 made my list of favorites. Now before we start, here's why I narrowed my list down. For me to choose a specific ETF to have in my retirement account, there's a lot of factors that have to weigh in. First, diversification. I don't want to rely on just one sector or one strategy. To be honest with you, I like some sectors more as others. I'll talk about my preferences later. Second, immediate income. These funds built for cash flow, not for waiting 20 years. And third, past performance. While no one has a crystal ball, I want funds that have at least shown they can deliver both yield and stability over time. Let's start with one of the most popular, HDIV, the Hamilton Enhanced Multi-Sector Covered Call ETF. This one's basically a one-stop shop. It holds a basket of other covered call ETFs across banks, utilities, and more. That means you get instant diversification, with the added kicker of leverage to boost returns. It pays monthly, the yield is consistently high, and it's a great way to simplify your portfolio if you want exposure to multiple sectors in a single ETF. Next up, I've got HYLD, another Hamilton product, the Hamilton Enhanced US Covered Call ETF. This one focuses on US markets, so you're getting exposure beyond Canada. Think big tech, US financials, healthcare, and consumer names, all with covered call overlays. It's a great way to tap into US growth while still collecting strong monthly income. For Canadian investors, it's also an easy way to diversify across borders without picking individual US stocks. Next 2 ETFs are sector-focused. As a Canadian, I like finance, energy, and utilities. For financial sector fans, Bank, the Evolved Canadian Banks and Lifecos Enhanced Yield Index Fund, deserves a spot. This ETF focuses on Canadian banks and life insurance companies, 2 industries that have historically been the backbone of our economy. Bank adds a covered call strategy to enhance yield, giving you reliable income from names like RBC, TD, Manulife, and Sun Life. If you believe in the long-term strength of Canada's financial system, this ETF provides income and stability in one package. Let's move into a more defensive sector with HUTE, the Hamilton Utilities Covered Call ETF. Think of utility companies as toll collectors on a bridge that everyone must cross, rain or shine, recession or boom. Utility companies deliver electricity, water, and gas, services people simply cannot cut, even when budgets are tight. That built-in demand gives utilities consistent revenue and stable cash flow. Best of all, many utility firms operate under regulated frameworks. That gives them predictability, almost like a guaranteed toll rate. So even when a storm hits the economy, the cash flow keeps rolling. Investors love that kind of consistency, especially retirees or anyone seeking income with low volatility. By adding a covered call overlay, HUTE takes these steady dividend payers and boosts the income you receive. It's a great way to balance riskier high-yield plays with something more defensive and dependable in your portfolio. I know what you might be thinking. What about energy-focused ETFs? Well, here's my view. By investing in multi-sector ETFs, I'm already getting enough exposure to energy. Now, let me introduce something truly innovative, Canada's first daily options-based ETFs. This isn't the usual covered call approach. It's a whole new way to generate consistent income. Meet CDAY, part of Hamilton's new Daymax family, Canada's first ETFs using 0 days to expiration, your DTE, call options. That means they write daily options, targeting around 20% coverage, and layer in modest leverage to enhance both income and growth. CDAY gives you exposure to Canadian dividend champions via the Hamilton Champions Canadian Dividend Index ETF, CMVP, plus some US exposure via VOO, with semi-monthly distributions. Now it's 0.18 per unit. It's designed for investors seeking frequent tax-efficient income without giving up the upside of Canadian equities. Alongside CDAY, there's SDAY, its US counterpart. It follows the same Daymax formula: daily 0 DTE call writing, target circa 25% coverage, and modest leverage. Underlying exposure comes from the Hamilton Champions US Dividend Index ETF, SMVP, with options written on the S&P 500. It also pays semi-monthly distributions of approximately 0.18 per unit. This means you get consistent income plus exposure to US dividend stocks, wrapped in a daily income engine. It's worth mentioning that these first ETFs with semi-monthly distributions won't be alone for long. Evolve Funds Group has filed preliminary prospectuses for 2 new ultra-yield ETFs. The Evolve US Equity Ultra Yield ETF, ticker BIGY, focused on the US market, and the Evolve Canadian Equity Ultra Yield ETF, ticker MAPL, focused on the Canadian market. Distributions, if any, will be paid at least semi-monthly, with the option for even more frequent payouts at the manager's discretion. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on these funds once they officially launch. Remember, these are just my picks and not recommendations. Always do your own research and consider your personal goals before investing. So those are my 6 favorites: HDIV, HYLD, BANK, HUTE, CDAY, and SDAY. Together they offer sector balance, regional diversification, a mix of defensive and tactical plays, and strong income strategies. In my view, combining these 6 ETFs can create a well-rounded income-focused portfolio. So what do you think? Do you already hold any of these ETFs, or do you have other favorites I should look into? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.